that right? Oh, well, I mean, it would be lovely for you to play with them. I know it would. Yes, I know. But I don't think they're quite ready for it yet. They can't swim like you. They haven't got their legs yet, you see. They haven't grown properly. Oh, hello, everybody. Hi there. Say hello, Freddie. Oh, Freddie and I were just talking about those little black creatures. Have you had to think about what they are? Did you think they were tadpoles? Yes. Me and Freddie were talking about the tadpoles. I went to see them yesterday. And although they're getting bigger, they haven't changed into froglets yet. They're not growing their little legs just yet. And their tails are still quite long and swimming a lot in the water. I'll show you the video of them very, very soon. You see, Freddie is getting rather impatient. That's a big word, which means he can't wait. He can't wait for those tadpoles to change into froglets and frogs, because he wants to show them, don't you? All of his tricks. Oh, he wants to show them what he can do with these great legs, how he can kick them and swim with them and go in and out the water and dive, and oh yeah, you can't wait, can you? But you're going to have to, Freddie, just like the children are, and me, because these things take time, don't they? Those tadpoles, they've come out of that frog jelly, they've changed into tadpoles, and now they've got to get to be bigger tadpoles, and we've got to just give them a little bit longer. So I'm ever so sorry, but you're going to have to wait a bit longer. Okay, have a sit there for a bit and think about it. Now everyone, I've got my diary here. If you've got yours, my frog book, my frog diary. Frog book, Mrs Bowen, do you remember? And inside, I'll do it that way because I think the light's shining that way. You can see the frog spawn on the first day, the frog jelly. Then it changed, didn't it, into a tadpole. And then last week, I gave you the challenge, didn't I, of having a think of some words that when you look in that pond, on those pond videos, what sort of words come into your head when you think about the wriggly tadpoles? What words come into your head? What are you thinking of? And I've put my words in here. On my page 3, I've got my words. Now let's have a look at them together. I'll show them you all together in my big speech bubble. Thank you, Kai, for your lovely speech bubble. I saw that with your super words. I'd love to see some more, because I'm sure some of you have done your words at home. I've got lots of words on here. I'll very, very quickly read through them super quick, because I'm a grown-up and I can do super quick reading. But then we're going to look at those words individually. Black, pond, wet, dark, spots, dots, swimming, weed, no legs yet. They were my words. They've come out of my head, and I specifically picked those words because I actually think some of you should be able to try and read them, and that's what we're going to do today. Now you might be thinking, Mrs Bowen, this is meant to be like a science lesson. Well, it is, and when you're only 4 and 5, it doesn't matter, does it, if you do a bit of drawing and you do a bit of reading and you do a bit of writing and you do a bit of science. It all gets mixed in together like a fabulous cake. So today we are doing a bit of science, but we're looking at sciencey words. So we're looking at the words that I picked to go to describe my tadpoles last week. So here we go. I want you to really try hard and see if you can get these words. Here's the first word. Let's see if I can get some ones that you might be able to know. Have a go at this one. Let's get those sounds out together, those phonic sounds. W, et. Put them together. W, et, wet. Okay? I want you to really try and read them today. Let's try this one. This is where they live. This is the place that I've been visiting to film them. This is where they live. Pond, pond, put it together. Pond. Did you get that? Yeah? Super. Here's the next one. Grown-ups, you will notice with some of the letters I've put lines underneath, and that's where those two sounds together make one sound called a digraph. So this one would be sp, the two things together, sp, ots, sp, ots, sp, ots, sp, ots, spots. Those tadpoles had got spots on them, hadn't they? When we look really closely, they'd got spots on them. Here we go, there's another one of those two sounds together, making the R sound together. D-ark, d-ark. The pond was dark, dark at the bottom. Yes, it was dark. Here's the next one. Also got one of those lines underneath, because children, if you can remember, an e and an e together makes that E sound. So here we've got w-eed, w-eed. Put them together, w-eed, weed. You've got it. The nice green weed floating in the pond. Here's the next one. Ooh, we've got two of those lines on this one now, and that's because the b and the l, bl, bl, together, black, 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 black. The tadpoles did look a bit black at the beginning, but you have a look at them today in today's video, and maybe you'll change your mind. Maybe you think those colours are changing a bit, because Freddy's not black, is he? So something definitely happens to tadpoles to make them turn green. Right, let's have another one now. What about this one? See if you can work this one out. 4 sounds. D, ot, d, ots, d, ots, d, ots, dots. Dots and spots. Freddy's still got his spots. I saw dots and spots on those tadpoles. Did you see them too? So that's why I've used that word to describe them. Dots on the tadpoles. I'm going to leave the last one. Actually, this is the very big word. This is a big word. And this one, oh, you can't read that, can you? Freddy, you didn't tell me that. It's upside down. The children can't read them upside down. I know you probably could, because you could do it like that. But they can't. Oh, silly me. Turn it round. Right. This one, oh, it's got a sw sound at the beginning and an ing sound at the end. Swimming. 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 Those tadpoles were swimming a lot, weren't they? They're learning how to swim, just like they are now with their tails, and then they'll learn how to swim again when they've got 4 legs like Freddy. Pop that down. I hope I do a better job this time. Oh, that one was upside down as well, but now we've turned it round. Now, for the last one, I've got 3 words with finger spacers in between. And that's because it's a little sentence. I've made a sentence with some of my words. Let's see if we can read them together. That's one of your tricky words, so you shouldn't need to sound that one out. You just say that one just as it is. No. No. Eggs. Eggs. Legs. Yet. Yet. No legs yet. There are no legs yet on those tadpoles. They've got a long way to go. So they were my describing words, folks. And I hope you had fun coming up with some of your own. They were quite tricky, so if you couldn't write them, that's okay. Your grown-up could do it for you. All I wanted you to do was have a good think. Now, as I've already said, the tadpoles do take a long time to change, and I don't think they've changed very much this week. So there's a little bit of video for you to look at. But then there is something different to do afterwards. So I don't really need you to write anything in your diary today, in your frog book. We could hopefully do that next week, but there is something else that you could do today. And all I want you to do is really use your eyes, and then I'll send something to your grown-ups that you can do to record what you see. All right, it's a bit of a mystery. Watch the video and then I'll come back later and explain what you're going to do. Okay, have fun then with the video. Make sure you've got your special observing eyes on, because you might see something in those tadpoles that I didn't see. You might spot a little leg. I didn't spot any legs this week. I did spot some longer tails. See if you agree with me. Right, everybody, I think because those tadpoles are taking their time in their development, aren't they? They're taking a long time to change and a long time to grow. They are getting bigger and those tails look like they were getting longer, but not really enough change in 1 week for you to draw those changes maybe in your diary. There's certainly no legs yet, are there? They're not growing any legs, and those tails don't look like they're getting any shorter. So I thought maybe you would quite like to have a little explore with me around my garden, and we would look for some other creatures instead. We'll have a little look underneath some speckled rocks, like in the song, 5 green frogs sitting on a speckled log, isn't it, in the song, but we'll call it speckled rock. We'll have a look under some speckled rocks and we'll see what might be hiding. We might also find some creatures right down in the grass. We might find some creatures in the plants. We'll have a good look together. So, don't know if you've got special spying eyes today that you need to look really, really closely. Keep your ears open as well. So when you're outside you can hear the birds. Can you hear those? That's a wood pigeon that you can hear. That cooing ooh, ooh noise is a wood pigeon. I like being in the garden. Shall we go and have a look together? Come on then, let's go. Well, look what I found here. When I tipped up this, well, it's actually like it's a chimney pot in my garden. I had noticed actually that the plant that's inside this chimney pot is not doing very well. It's not growing very well at all. I think I've just discovered today why that is. Because this pot of soil where my plant was growing has become a nest for these little creatures. Can you see what they are? Can you see them moving? There's a whole army of them. There's a whole army of ants. And they live in here now. I'm going to very carefully, if I can, take some of this soil away so that you might be able to even see a few more of them inside. Can you see the little holes that they've made? They've made lots of holes, they've made lots of tunnels, and in here there will be thousands of them living inside my plant pot, which is why my plant is not doing very good at all. Pull these roots away. In fact, these roots do not look healthy. They're very dry, they're very broken and brittle, which means that plant is dying. But the ants aren't dead, are they? The ants are very much alive and crawling around in there. Wow. Should we go and see if we can find anything else that's interesting in my garden? We're at another plant pot in my garden now. This is a fancy plant pot, that's why it looks blue. But this has been in my garden now for quite a long time, and usually when plant pots are in your garden for a long time, they make a really nice dark space for some creatures to live underneath them. So let's lift up this big fancy plant pot and see who has made their home underneath it. Are you ready? Ready for some spotting? Here we go then. Let's get the camera in nice and close and see what you can see. Now that's interesting, because I think we can see those ants again, but are they the same colour as the ants that we've just seen under the other plant pot? I'll leave you to think about that one. Now, these stones have also been here a very long time in my garden. Let's have a lift up and see what's under there, if there's anything at all. Amazingly quiet underneath this one, but there is this little creature here, if you can see that. Again, very quiet, bit dormant, a bit lying there doing nothing. I think it's a baby. Anybody know what that one's called? Maybe I can sound it out for you. Slug. Slug. It's a slug. It's a slug. And that's the kind of creature really that I don't want many of those in my garden, because they really like to eat your plants and they'll be nibbling away at my leaves. But I think he's a bit sleepy at the moment. I think I'll pop him back under there. Bit sticky. Did you see how he was sticking to my fingers? That's because they're from the snail family, and that means that he covers his body in slime so that he can slither around. Now let's move the camera along again to this one, that stone there, and we will just see what is under here, if there's anything. Ooh. Now, you didn't see that, but I saw something just wriggle away down that tunnel. I wonder whether they're a bit too shy to come back. There's another slug. That one's a little bit bigger. See that? You can really see the slime on it there, look. And he is starting. If I pick him up, you'll see him wriggling and slithering on my finger. Getting a good look at him. Ooh, looks like he's having a good look around to try and see you. Can you see those long tentacles coming out? On the end of there are actually his eyes. So they're coming out so that he can have a good look around. Oh, he's quite slimy and quite tickly on my finger. I'm actually going to pop him back now. I think what I saw wriggle in that hole was a centipede, but I don't think we'll ever know because he's gone and wriggled away underneath the soil. What a shame. Right, Mr. Slug, let you go in that hole and then I'll put the rock back. Okay, there we go. All back nice in shape. Now everybody, can you remember I read you the frog and toad stories in the part of my garden where I like to plant seeds? Well, this is that area, and I've just seen these little creatures, if you can see them. They're starting to hide now. Some little ones as well there, little baby ones, and they are called woodlice. And they're escaping now because they probably look a bit frightened of me. And they look like they've disappeared. Let's see if we can find some more. Let's move the camera down here. Let's lift up this pot. Ooh! I think there's something that might be a bit interesting under there. Let's just move it out of the way and you'll be able to see. Okay. Now, I position my camera down there. What can you see? Right down there, what can you see? Ooh. Mrs Bowen's not ever so keen on these creatures, but it's outside in the garden where it belongs, and that's fine. Now let's just give it a little nudge, shall we? Here we go. Oh, there you go. There we go. A little nudge. And I think, looking at it, I think that is what we call a wolf spider. That one. I know it doesn't look like a wolf. That's just its name. It's gone under there now. It's gone right under there where it's nice and safe. It's a good place for a spider to live, isn't it? Well, it was really nice to be able to show you a bit of my garden today and see if we could find some creatures together. I would have liked to have shown you more, but, well, as we've discovered, my garden seems to be a place where ants really like to live. But I was a bit disappointed to not find any snails or ladybirds, or can you think of some other creatures? Maybe you've got those creatures in your garden. Let me show you something though. I did find these leaves. Something. Couldn't find the creature that's been doing this. But look at those leaves. Something's really been nibbling away through those, hasn't it? Look at those holes. I can just about see you through those. It's so big. I wonder what's been nibbling away at those leaves in my garden. Do you think you might know? I don't suppose we'll ever know unless I can actually see it in action. And when I was looking at this plant where these leaves came from, I couldn't see any creatures at all. It's a mystery creature. It's a mystery creature that must come out when I'm not looking to nibble big holes in my plants. And I wonder what it could be. I'm going to leave you with that mystery thought. Enjoy exploring your garden. if you've got a garden. If you haven't got a garden, please don't worry, because do you remember me talking to you about Mr Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister? Well, he says that now we can go out into the parks a little bit more now, that it's safe to play outside. So if you want to go with your grown-up and have a little look, maybe lift up some stones if there are some stones, or lift up some logs, have a little look under things, look under the slide at the park, see what you can find. And I'd love to know. Maybe your mums or your dads can send me a little message on our school emails, or send some photos of you looking for bugs around the parks and around your garden. All right, everybody, have lots and lots of fun. Nature's a really, really exciting thing. There's always lots of things to explore, and hopefully next time I see you, those pesky tadpoles will be a little bit bigger. I really hope so. Take care, everybody, and see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.